Hey everyone, Aaron here. Welcome back to the Anime Talk, the show where it's super great. Have you seen how great this show is? This show is awesome. You, I'm a genius for thinking of something that most likely someone else has thought of and doing my own thing with it, but it's so amazing, right? Like, 10 out of 10 would watch again? No? Okay. Last, besides all the bullcrap I just spewed out of my mouth, last time, or actually not last time, but several weeks ago, I want to say, I talked about hype in anime. Now, hype in anime is, for the most part, a mixed bag, as we all know. We know that it does things sometimes for anime, makes them really over the top with people. People love it, people will hate it, but it will also make kind of this gateway anime type thing. But when is overhype too much? Now, hype and overhype are actually two different things, and I know you might say, "Well, no, they're not. You just put over in front of it, but they essentially mean the same thing." Overhype is when a series is over the top exaggerated. That's when you have shows that people will say are the godsends of other shows. They're like, "Oh, this is the best thing ever. This is going to change the world of anime. This is going to do everything that we've always wanted from an anime series." And a lot of times that almost can kill a show rather than even hype can kill a show. Don't get me wrong, hype can kill a show, but overhype will essentially kill it immediately if people don't right away agree with that concept. And it becomes this kind of thing where people then don't go, oh, I don't know if I believe that. I think it's a horrible show, or I think, oh, nah, it's not that great. It's not as good as everyone compares it to. Hype does the same thing, but here's the thing: is that the biggest difference between overhype and hype, and why I'm even focusing today, if you haven't realized, on overhype again, is because overhype is, I want to say, the extreme killer of any anime series. Now let's talk about Erase, which is actually pretty big. It's been like one of the biggest shows right now. It's still on. It's reaching its climax finally, so I think probably next week I'll have a review up for it. As soon as it's done, or maybe at least the day after it's done, I'll have a review up for it. But Erased has been the series that I think has really created this kind of wedge in the anime, kind of universe right now, where people are talking about it in droves. People are saying it's the best thing ever. It's the second coming of anime. It is the anime to watch that you're gonna enjoy. And you know what? Don't get me wrong. Don't misunderstand me. It is a decent anime. I like it. I'm gonna review it pretty much depending on how the ending is compared to the manga, because I did read the manga for it, and I'll tell you guys right now, I was very disappointed with the manga toward the end, but that's for a whole nother review thing. But what was funny about the Erased anime was when it was coming out, people were going, "Oh my god, this is really that amazing," and right away you were seeing scores on now like nines out of tens, tens out of tens, and I was like, "Well, yeah, one episode's out though. How can you start naming the series as one of the best things ever when it hasn't even started really getting into its groove yet? It just started with one episode." There are other shows that are like that. Like in many ways, and I know people are gonna flip out on me. One Piece is like that in many ways. People hype up One Piece to this grand pedestal, and One Piece is not, like I said, I don't hate it. I always have to repeat this because I know people have this short attention span when it comes to me telling them I don't hate it. But One Piece has always been put on this pedestal, but at least it's out for so long that now hyping it up or overhyping it doesn't have the same effect as it when it first came out. When it first came out, it was overhyped. It really was. And to the point that right away people were like, it's not my cup of tea, I don't want to watch it, even before watching it. And that's not fair. Let me tell you something right now. I don't think anyone on the face of this earth has any reason to judge something without actually watching a series all the way through to a certain point. I understand one episode, I understand three episodes, I get that kind of concept. But then you can't really, per se, judge a show fully if you've only seen three episodes. Like, again, if you only saw three episodes of One Piece and then review a review of it, that would be the most biased review ever, because it's a series that's going on almost 800 episodes. I think it's like, what, 700 something right now? Maybe I'm wrong, maybe say 800 already. But, that is crazy. Clearly there's love for One Piece, and I'm happy there is for it. But it is one of those shows that has deserved its hype. It's gone to the point that it can take that hype and be on that pedestal, and regardless of it being right or wrong that it's on that pedestal in the first place, it can stand on there with its own 2 feet because people have put it there. but people have shown its love, and people have shown that it's a good series worth it, and that series has in turn shown that it's worth being on that pedestal. A show like Erased, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad show, but to be put on a pedestal within first episode, and now we're in the 10th episode, or actually 11th episode now, to be put on this pedestal of grandiousness that, you know, it's amazing to me that it's even on there when it's not that great. It's an okay series. You know, I know I'm gonna get probably flack for saying it's an okay series, but it's not that great. It has a lot of issues with it, per se, in storytelling and plot that you've seen before. Folks, this is not new. This is not a new concept. You know, the way its characters are, the way its storytelling is done very well. I will give it that. But I've heard people saying it annoys the crap out of me. Oh, I've never seen this in an anime before. I've never seen Steins Gate has time travel. There are a million one anime that have time travel in there. Okay, trust me. You know, I can't. Can I name all of them off the top of my head? Probably could if I was actually thinking about it off the top of my head and actually writing it down. But Steins Gate is one of the first ones that comes to mind. Future Diary in many ways has time travel. I'm not going to say why it does because that would kind of spoil the series, but it does have time travel in a sense, or different universes. You know, in many ways, Erased has been done before. You know, has it been done this exact way? No, but it has been done before. It's a concept that is tried and true, and they know that. They're using that as a concept to make a show work very well. Don't get me wrong, the characters, the storytelling are very, very good in Erased. That's one of probably the only saving graces of it. But, you know, well, animation-wise too, it's actually got very nice animation. But if you were to look at how the show goes from A to B in its storytelling, I've seen it before. I've seen that storytelling done before. I've seen these characters done before. I've seen the kind of main character who starts off as a, you know, enclosed character who doesn't really want to be out there in the world with anyone, who is kind of getting by in society, but then all of a sudden, you know, various events make him into a stronger character that's more self-independent and more willing to kind of lean on other people when he needs to, and to be reliant on both himself and the world. That's been done before. That's not a new concept. That's been done plenty of times in both anime and both movies and both books. You know, it's, you know, I don't think any anime should get on a pedestal unless it's really truly deserving of that pedestal. It needs to deserve being considered great. You know, I'm trying to think of some series that are probably like super high, like Dragon Ball Z. I know people, you know, have mixed feelings with Dragon Ball Z nowadays, but Dragon Ball Z, Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star, Steins Gate, trying to think of all this stuff that I can think off the top of my head. Those are shows that have proven themselves to be in a world of their own because of their storytelling, their characters, their animation. They have shown that they survive the testament of time. They show that anime can be something different while also using concepts that have been done before. Like, come on. You know, Cowboy Bebop, I know people would go, well, it's not really the first anime that's ever had, you know, space pirates, essentially. There have been other anime that have space pirates before that. There have been other anime that have involved space kind of traveling and going through. There are other anime that have done that concept before it. And that's why it's not unique per se, but the way it does everything is unique. I always tell people this, and I have to remind people this because I think people forget the word unique. Unique does not per se mean something original. You know, I always say that it's very hard to make anything nowadays original because a lot of stuff's been done before. It's once in a blue moon you'll find this original story with everything original about it, and you'll be like, whoa, that's surprising. Does it happen very often? No, and especially in the anime world, it really never happens because they have to use things that they know will sell to people. You need the story concepts that will sell to people. Like, for example, with the harem genre, they know what to make for people to try at least to make the anime worth and pleasing to them. They know that, hey, okay, we need to have multiple girls. We need to have, you know, fan service here and there. We need a story. We need, you know, humor here and there. And, you know, depending on what type of harem they were trying to go for, either a smart character or really dumb protagonist, you know, I had a whole discussion about dumb protagonists before, but they know what they're going for, and thus when they do that, they have to use those tropes and those kind of concepts to make the anime better and to make more people flock to it. will those ever be on the kind of pedestal like Erased will? No, they will not. They will be on their own pedestal. But here's the bottom line: is that overhyping any show is a no-no. I'm telling you guys right now, do not do this. I know so many people that do this. It's like, don't get me wrong. You can say you love a show. You can say from the first episode, I was so amazed by that first episode. There have been plenty of shows I've done that before too. But never use the line, and please, for the love of God, if you're one of these people, think about this. Don't use the line, it is the best anime ever, or it is the newest trend of things that anime will now follow, or it's going to be the second coming of anime, or it's this new godsend of anime. Stop. It is not a word and a phrase that makes any freaking sense. Anime is amazing in its own right, but doing that automatically pisses off about half the people that would care about a show. It automatically also puts this thing on a genre, or pedestal, excuse me, that it might not be able to support itself on. There are a lot of shows that do this, and then lo and behold, when it's time to, actually review the thing toward the end of it, you go, why did I ever love this show? Like, I'm going to be honest with you, unless Erased does something drastic differently from the manga, people are going to have an issue with my review of it, but I'm going to be honest with you because like I said before, my channel is not about going with everyone else when it comes to just, me doing reviews. I don't want to make it so I review everything in the way that people want me to review it. I want to review it in the way that I would tell someone my personal feelings on it. I always try to make my channel not biased as much as I can, which is almost impossible. You have a bias in your reviews. But, I will say if I like something greatly. I will say if I dislike something greatly. I don't care how many people like it. For example, Maid-sama. I know several people that were like, Maid-sama is great. What are you talking about? And I'm like, no, it's not. Not to me, at least. I thought it was garbage. But it's that concept that, you conform to the show and you think it's something amazing. It's like, it's not that amazing. It's okay. It's not bad, but to me, amazing is when you could put on Mal 10 out of 10. That's amazing. That's why it says masterpiece. A 9 out of 10 is still great. Don't get me wrong. That's a still awesome show. 8 out of 10 is a good show. 7 out of 7 is an okay show. 6 out of 6 is failing. I know. One thing I hate about Mal, and I'm shots are being fired right now, but one thing I hate about Mal, and I kind of always hated about Mal, is that the system doesn't make sense when it comes to the kind of rating system. But I want to save this discussion for another video, because I am going to talk about my anime list in another video, and I want to say it's going to be a little bit of an awkward discussion with people. I know people are going to get pissed off at my discussion with it, but I kind of have to do it. I really do. I have to talk about it a little bit. But anyways, guys, that's it for this discussion, or the anime talk in general for this one. Oh, excuse me. Damn. You ever feel... Oh, shoot. I think I swallowed something when I was taking a sip of something. Anyways. I hope not. That'd be horrible. Anyways, though. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Besides my little thing at the end where I can barely breathe for a second. Please like, comment, subscribe. Helps me out a lot. Feel free to leave in the comments below some topic ideas. I'll gladly take them and use them if I can use them or not. And as always, guys, until I talk to you later, have a great week or weekday or whatever weekend. I don't know when this comes up. So, bye-bye, everyone.